Hello, I'm Compromised Dev, and this is Compromised Oracle. It's the second game I've made, which takes place in the world of the Compromise and the town of Windermere. This was made for Microjam 45 with a time limit of 48 hours, a theme of miniature, and the prerequisite of gambling addiction. And that's why the game has you staring down a miniature of the town of Windermere and very much revolves around the brutal gambling mechanic. So I'll do a quick playthrough through the game and just show off the features and explain them as they come up. So yeah, you are the Oracle in Archbishop's employ. You can see the future, and your job is to look at this model of Windermere and see omens on it and deliver them to the Archbishop by flinging them off the screen. Unfortunately, you are a compromised oracle. You are in loads of debt, gambling debt to the mayor, and you will have to be paying it back in favors, in readings, and in money. Now on this map, days go by, events appear, and you will be flinging them all over the place. Now during the game jam, these events actually used to have loads of text within them, but that was just impossible to deal with and impossible to understand what was actually going on. So now the actual contents of the event is basically conveyed through the reactions that the factions give once you fling them the event. So each pop-up contains an event which is associated with a specific faction, and that faction determines which side of the screen you should give that event to. For example, this is a vampire-related event, and while the mayor would give you some money for it, he's not really that well equipped to deal with it, so you should give it to the Archbishop, causing the event chain to level up, which has all sorts of benefits. If we continue here, we should quite quickly reach the end of the month. Here you can see that this has actually leveled up to level 2, and you can also hear the sound cue of whether or not you are giving the event to the right faction. So this is the end of the month screen. As you can see, you have earned 50 coins, but your debt has grown to 11,000 due to interest. So you should quite quickly realize that gamble is the only way forward. This is the gambling screen, and you can choose which spinners to hold and spin. The special thing is that you are indeed an oracle, so you can see the future. You can actually see a hint of what the spinner will land on if you don't hold it. That might sound quite overpowered, but the issue is that this is the mayor's casino, and he very much knows that you can see the future. So the system has been very much calibrated for that, which means that you can only bet all the money you have, and once you have come here, you cannot actually back down. So it's one spin per month, and you have to spin if you come here. So this seems quite doomed. Each of these are different, as well. And unluckily, bodies empty of magic yet powerful is actually humans, which is the symbol this is already showing, so it won't change. This is the Archbishop, which won't help us, but this one is uneasy peace built on suffering, which is the compromise. And the compromise is the wild card. And getting a pair gives us our money back. So simply spinning will give us our money back here. This screen is actually something that I need to brag about, because I was really happy about this implementation. So I have a CSV file that contains all of this logic for the slot machine, and that same CSV file is used to dynamically change this page. Meaning that whenever I was balancing and changing some of these values, this page would automatically be updated and reordered and all of that. Like at this point, if I would add more, I would have to rethink some things, because you can't actually fit any more here. But while I was balancing the game, this was excellent. So yeah, this time the main point for us is that this is the wild card, and with a pair we can get our money back. So we can just spin here. And we do get our money back. At the end of the month, you could also repay your coins to your debt, but this is something that wouldn't help us at all at this point, because you can't gamble your debt. So instead, we will just give our monthly reading to one of the parties and move on. And during this map stage, I will actually lock in so that we can earn enough money to actually do something significant in the gambling. Let's see if we can't earn enough here. Some of the places give actual bonuses with the factions. That was in the town hall, and the mayor does care more about events in the town hall, and we can't actually reach level 5 with any of the chains. If you level up any of the event chains, any of the factions to the maximum, you'll get a huge chain complete bonus. It gives a lot of money, but the chain will reset from 0. But that's still very much worth it. So let's see what the gamble has in store for us. Oh no, we are quite unlucky here. It's actually relatively rare that you have no recourse, but this is one of those cases. You can see we have night, witch and day, and if we roll this one, danger and every horror imaginable is actually night. Terrible power bound in ancient flesh is actually the witch. Small shadows hungry for loot is the rats. So unfortunately, whether we spin these or not, they will land on the same ones, so this is just a loss. But never mind, let's keep going. It actually doesn't matter that much if you lose in the beginning, because you are still leveling up these chains, and they quickly start giving a decent amount of money. You'll never earn enough on this stage so that you could win without gambling, but it does make a huge difference whether you start gambling with few hundred or 1,000 cash. But we didn't actually resolve any chains that time, so we are still doing quite bad. This is also quite unlucky. We do have a pair, which means that we won't lose our money, but we also have a wild card here, which usually gives a good chances of actually winning, but this time it actually won't help us getting anything else than a pair. So let's keep on going. That's a clear chain, and that bonus is actually quite huge. So we are up to 200 cash, but we are also up to 15,000 in debt. And the debt will actually increase the rate at which the Archbishop's and Mayor's reputation tick down. So we will be in trouble eventually with this one. So let's try a gamble again. And this time we can see that we have an automatic win. This is a wild card, so we have 3 vampires. But we should have a think here, because the vampires give us ×6, but we can also get Moonlit Rage barely held in check, which is a werewolf with a vampire with a wild card, which would make it the moon pact, wild card being the witch. That would give us times 10. So definitely we'll get the times 10. And there we go. We have 2000. By the way, these locations mean that most of the time you actually know what the pop-up will be before you even open it. Because, like, for example, the witch's hut will give the early witch pop-ups while the witch is still in her hut. Now, this is where we actually have a chance to simply win the game. Getting times 10 now will pay off all of our debt. So let's try and gamble. Unfortunate. We don't actually have a win here. We do have a wild card hiding behind here. So we just get a pair. No need to hold anything. The wild card is always a pair. This time we got like 300 from the chain bonuses, but it doesn't matter that much anymore. So yeah, gamble. Oh no. And we have lost everything. We have to grind ourselves back quick. We are back to 200. Just gamble. Okay, Shining Steel bound by oaths is the Holy Knights. So we can get an easy times 5 here, but that's all we can get. We are back to 1000. This is still very much doable. And this is excellent. It seems that there is no triple, but there is a mayor, also an archbishop behind here, and Shining Steel bound by oaths, which is the Holy Knights, and we have a wild card, which means we can get the Covenant. Keep the mayor, keep the wild card, and spin. 6000. Still need one more win. And this time it's actually no point of getting the chains, so I will deliberately hit them to the wrong side so that we can save them in case we will need them later. And we do lose everything again. Let's see, can we actually win this still? And we did get 2 chains, so we get plenty of cash. And let's see the gamble. You have got to be joking. That's nothing. I'm starting to think that we will lose here. This time it's only 161 coins and we get almost the perfect one here. Oh boy. If only we would have had like 300 coins. So we'll just hold all of them and get 3000. This is still winnable. Definitely winnable. Only have to win once more and it should be good. Okay, the fated gamble is here and we lose everything. Oh boy, fun. The debt is over 30k. This is bad. This is really bad. I think this is basically lost now. We can try to survive, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Let's see. Come on. Whew. We did survive, but so what? There's almost no shot that we will win enough with this amount of money to make a dent in this debt. Yeah. That doesn't help much. We win our money back. This will be almost impossible to survive, I think. Whew. Survival. That was close. That was close. Let us open the gamble. And yay! We get to keep our money. This is a lost cause now. There's absolutely no shot to survive this. And we are not getting anything good, and that was that. But here you can see actually one more feature that I added for fun, which is actually you can download a screenshot of this screen just for yourself. So if you get these screens or the victory screen, be sure to send them to me. Another added feature post-jam is the leaderboard, which was actually surprisingly simple to implement. These are global leaderboards. You can see that not many people have been playing, and you can also see that when you actually win because of the multiplication, the wins get absurd. And you can also see that I have survived quite a few more days than I did just now. But I have also lost a lot more coins than I did lose right now. So yeah, that's Compromised Oracle. Not really that much to the game, but I was quite pleased at how it turned out. Especially, it was my first ever game jam. Whether or not I'll keep making it, I'll keep improving it, I don't know, to be honest. I might release few more patches, but I am eager to go back to my main project as well, even though many of you will probably find it more dull than this one. Yeah, see you around.